Hi everybody, this is Professor West for GMC, and in this video I'm going to walk you through making changes and updating an Excel sheet so that you can follow along and do these changes with me, and that'll help prepare you more for the projects that you're going to do this week. So to start with, I opened this project called CS110EX1-1, and if you look at it, it's for a discount store. We have some food, technology, clothing. We have the in-store sales amounts, the catalog sales amounts, the online sales amounts, and the totals. And a little chart down here. You may have to click on the Enable Editing button that just appeared right here. I clicked on it a second ago. And that way it'll allow you to make changes. So we're just going to go through and make a bunch of changes to this. Before we do, I want to point something out that's very, very important. In Excel, anytime you have a cell that looks like this, with these little hashtags going through it, what that means is that the number was too big to fully display. Since Excel deals specifically with numbers, they didn't want like a line to come through here and you not realize that these numbers were bigger. You know, if it cut off right here, you may think it's $277 instead of $277,000. So anytime one of these cells is too small to display a number, they turn into the hashtags. To fix it, there's several different ways. The easiest way for me is to just come up between the letters where the icon changes like this, click and hold, and drag to the right a little bit. And as you do, these will turn back into numbers. So let me explain a little bit more what's going on here. This is the in-store sales, so everything on this line was for in-store sales. So this is the food in-store. They sold $32,000 this month, I guess. Technology, $132,000. Down here we have the totals. Anytime you have a field that says total or something like that, you do not want to just put a number. You have to put a formula. And this formula tells it to add this one and this one and this one all the way across. Otherwise, if I go in and change one of these, if you just put a number here, it won't automatically update. But when we change the numbers, you'll see these numbers will update automatically because we use a formula instead. Same thing for the totals across the bottom. So as we change these numbers are going to change as well. These have to be formulas and not just numbers. So as I said, pull up the sheet and follow along with me, and we'll just make a whole bunch of changes. So let's start by changing the sheet name. You can come down here where it says Sheet 1, and you could right click on it and choose Rename. Mine's a little bit off the screen here, I apologize for that. It's just the word Rename. And then you can call it whatever you want. Maybe I want this to be October, or even OCT 2023. Why not? And then I could come up and click this later and have a whole nother sheet for November and December and so forth. So I just changed this one to October 2023. You always want to make sure and give it a meaningful name. If this is a bunch of months, like I'm setting it up to be here, you wouldn't want it to just be like Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3, because then if you decided, oh, I've got to go back to November of, I don't know, 2020, you wouldn't know which one it is. You'd have to go through a bunch of them to find it, and even then it might be a little difficult if the date's not on here as well. So since I don't have the date anywhere on here, the only way I would know this is October is to put it in the sheet name. Okay, so now let's say you want to change this. Maybe right now it says Sales Analysis Totals. Maybe I want it to say something else. So if you notice, if I click on one of these other cells, like if I click on the B column, nothing comes up here in my bar. That's because this is showing up in the B column, but it's not actually part of the B column. It's part of the A column. It was just a long word, and since there was nothing in this one, it all showed up. But if I put something in the B column, if I just put the word name, now half of what was showing up here is gone. So let me undo that. I just wanted to show you that for an example. So let's change that to something like monthly sales. So click on the A column here, A2, and we're going to type monthly sales and hit the enter key. So that's all there is to it. I mean, you just type it in and it changes. We can do more. We can format these to look better if we want. But we don't have to. So now let's say that you're going through looking at the numbers and you realize that some of these are off. So right now I have $32,145.54, and my total down here was $310,995. Let's say I decided, oh wait, that's not $32,000. Let's click on that cell and let's make it something like $31,945.63. When I hit the enter key, it's going to change this value and this value over here. Both will go down slightly. Not a whole lot, because there wasn't a lot of difference that I changed it. But they both automatically updated. That's one of the most powerful features in Excel, is all of the numbers that are associated with this cell will automatically update because I've got them set up as formulas. So let's make a few other changes. Let's say in technology, we actually sold a little more than we thought. So come down here for the catalog. We had a couple late ones come in, and now we've sold $127,456.21. Notice I'm not putting in the dollar sign, I'm not putting in commas. I did put the decimal, but that's it. That's because I've already got these formatted to be dollar amount, so I don't have to keep putting that in. I don't have to put the commas, it automatically does all that. And again, it automatically updated. So let's change one more just for good measures. Let's come over here to photos. Online, we sold a little less than we thought. We didn't quite sell $18,000. We sold $17,856.23. When I hit enter, both of those numbers changed. I didn't point it out, but this number over here changes also because it's the addition of all of these. It's this one plus this one plus this one. Or, yeah, okay, that's how they got it set up. Or that's how we've got it set up. To be this one through this one added here. So when I changed this one, this number updated, this one down here also updated. And so did this one. So everything associated with this cell, directly or indirectly, automatically updates. So now let's say we want to make this look a little nicer. Instead of all of this just being part of A, let's go ahead and highlight this cell and then drag all the way across to H. Make sure you don't come down the line because that would do the next one too. We don't want to do that. Just get the one row all the way across to column H. We're going to merge all of these into a single cell. And to do so, there's a few different ways. I'm on the Home tab. You can come over here in the alignment section. See, this one here says merge and center. I could also just say merge if I don't want it to center, but I'm just going to leave it on center, or you can come down here and click on it. Right now that's the one by default. So when I merge and center it, it merges all of these cells into one. So now there's not a way to accidentally click on B and overwrite what's here, and it's centered it among all of them. And I can do other things to it. Maybe I want to, with the cell highlighted, maybe I want to change the background color to something pretty or something that would help make it look more professional. Now, there's things that you have to consider. Right now, I have black text. If I'm going to leave the text black, then I don't want a dark background, because if I choose a dark background, that makes it incredibly difficult to read. So you want a light color background, but it really doesn't matter what color. Any of these would work and look nice. So I'm going to do that, but then I could also change my text color by clicking on the text here. Maybe I want it to be blue. Well, now that would not show it very well with this color. There's a lot of different options you could choose from. You can make it more of a almost white. For now, I'm going to leave it as black. I just wanted to make sure you're aware that you can make all of these changes. So maybe I want to make it a little bigger. As I point to these, notice that it changes the size. It shows you what it'll look like. I think 18 looks pretty good, so I'm going to leave it there. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the monthly sales, only I'm going to change different colors. So first, I'm going to highlight all of these cells. And then, now last time I went ahead and went to merge center because I knew where that was at. But if you don't know, you can always come up to search and just type in whatever you're looking for. I type in MER and it tells me, oh, here's merge and center. There's merge, there's some other ones. So if I click on that, it still does it for me. So if you're in one of these other tabs and you're not sure where it's at, you can always type it in up here at the top. And then maybe I want to change the color on this one to something dark, like a dark blue, and maybe change the font color to something light. Perhaps kind of a, I don't know, yellow. So that it would say monthly sales in yellow. And again, you can go in and change the font size if you'd like. I'm going to make these 14. Usually the heading's bigger than the subheadings. These are just some of the things you can do. While we're changing colors, we can also do the same thing to our tab down here where we have now October 2023. We can right click and one of the options that will come up, and again it's off the screen, I apologize for that, is tab color. And if you point to it, you get the same kind of box that you had just a second ago up at the other part, and you can pick what color you want. So if I pick a lighter blue color, it kind of gives it that lighter blue color here. If I choose a darker, kind of a reddish color, it gives it that kind of a background. So you could choose different colors for different events, or however you want to do it. You know, you can make every other one a different color. Or there's all kinds of ways that you could change these just to make them look a little nicer. So that's pretty much it. The last thing to do would be to save it. You can go to File, Save As, and rename it. Put your name on it, or whatever naming convention you're supposed to be using at that time. And you're done. Since this is just practice, you can name it anything you want. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in class. Bye, everybody.